Hey, what's up, YouTube? Boswell back with another video. I kind of skipped morning coffee talk this morning. I had a lot to do this morning. Went to the gym really early, just kind of moving and shaking. But I still want to come on here and shoot a video. And isn't one thing I'm just realizing more and more is just it's so important, especially for a man to continuously grow and continuously become the best version of yourself. And here's the thing: not only does it help you in the long run and benefit you in so many different factors, but it also benefits your household and it benefits your wife. And a couple years ago, when I wasn't at the best version of myself, and I'm still pursuing it, right? But I've made a lot of progress. I was just really in this area where it was kind of like purgatory a little bit, and I couldn't think straight. I had kind of brain fog. I was overweight. I didn't have energy, and all of these different things, and that really impacted my marriage for a good amount of time. But once you come up out of that, you start to really see the benefits. And let's separate this, right? I want to talk about the benefit for you that you get as a man yourself, and the benefit how it affects your wife and your household. So specifically, when it comes to a man and how that benefits you, just becoming the best version of yourself. And I've been talking about this a lot, hitting the gym, eating right, doing things to really better yourself when it comes to like, studying for different things. If you're talking about a different career path, different education, just personal development when it comes to like emotional control, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to you just, creating hobbies and different things to make sure that you're staying balanced, right? It's so many benefits that come behind that becoming the best version. One of the top things I've seen is you raise your own personal standards, right? And so when you raise your standards on what you accept and what you don't accept from yourself anymore, then that resonates to everything around you, right? Then you raise the standard of your entire life, not just yourself, but what you expect from how people treat you, what you expect from just how people you interact with, life, different things you want for yourself. It just all encompasses of raising the standard. And then I think for me, for a while, I married young, well, they're not super young, but like my early 20s, but it was still a situation where I didn't really even know what I wanted for myself fully. And therefore, I couldn't figure out 100% what I wanted for my wife. Now, here's the thing. With that being said, yes, I think I took a lot from traditional values when it comes to what the expectation of what marriage should look like, right? The traditional roles and stuff like that, or what, a man just go to work, he come home, the house is a certain way because the wife is there. But, when you see things and what it is realistically, both parties are working and it's not anything. Now, if I had ran my bag up, maybe it could be a different story, right? But that's not what I'm at. And for a lot of different men out there, that's not what they are. A lot of them, their wives are still working. A lot of both of them are still, having to manage the household a certain way and deal with the kids a certain way. But I say all that to say is when it comes to you personally, and when it comes to me, it's one of those situations where it's like, now I know what I really want, right? Because I figured out how I need to move personally. And we ain't talking about strictly just like getting to the bag career wise. We just talking about your life, however you want to move, right? So for me, I don't like going out anymore as far as like clubs and stuff. Obviously I'm older, but I would rather do a kickback, right? And so therefore, when they're like, "Oh, let's go," whoever, right? Let's go, do this in the streets or whatever. I don't like to move like that because it's other things behind it, right? I don't smoke, I don't drink anymore, right? So I don't want to be in that environment, right? Oh, let's go to this restaurant, that restaurant. I'm sure I can figure something out on the menu, but I don't like to eat those foods no more because I don't like how they affect me, right? When I need to get up the next day, go do my workout. So I'm just learning, and those are very simple things, right? But I'm just learning to write about like, okay, if I'm gonna kick it with these type of friends, what value are they bringing back? Yes, it's cool that I knew this person for a long time, and that's cool. Maybe that's just what that's for. But for especially for any like new people, it's like, yo, I don't really need people like that. What I need is to be on my stuff and become the best version, and then I can attract the right people to me. Not me searching out for people like, man, I just want to hang out, this and that. I don't need that right now, right? And that's just where I am. It's crazy because and not to get too far off topic, but it's one of those situations where I feel like I'm in this middle part, right? I'm in this part where I don't want to do what I used to do with the people I used to do it with. And it's not anything against them. It's just me personally, right? Changing and developing and just saying, look, I don't want to do those things. I want to do these things now. But when I'm reaching for the next group of people where I do want to do the things they're doing, I haven't built myself up enough to be able to kind of get into that circle. You know what I mean? And so I'm just in this part, which I'm cool with because I know like when I get there, I have enough value to bring to say, look, this is why I need to be a part of this circle, right? This is what I can bring as far as value and to have new friendships and new relationships. Does that make sense? So that's where I am. And so I say all that to say is I didn't realize that this is what I really wanted because I wasn't at a place where I can start to become and transform into who I really want to be. Because I was I was lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? In the sense of not being the best version of myself, just going through life, just floating. And so now, me being purpose driven, me understanding what I want from life, me raising my standards on myself and raising my standard on my life and the people around me, it's like, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some too. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to like different life scenarios. However, as long as my trajectory is going up, I'm okay with that. We definitely not going back. And I've said this many times in my videos, like it can sound crazy, whatever I'm saying, but I'm willing to die for my success. Like I would never go back to the person I used to be. It's just insane. Like me, and I am so grateful that I actually went through it. It was kind of like I made a video a while back just talking about how it felt like I was in jail. It felt like I had to do my time. And some people still doing time. Mentally in they mental jail. They locked them. We all go through it where we locked up. And the world helps with that, right? They market comfort. They market easy, right? But in the end, you don't. It's like you take the easy now, but you lose in the end. Or you can take the hard now and win in the end. So it just pick and choosing your battles, choosing your hard. So again, I hope that kind of makes sense as far as when it comes personally to personal development with yourself. Again, knowing what you want, being purpose driven, raising your standards, and constantly personal development for yourself. Now, how does it impact when it comes to like your wife, your household, whoever you with? That when they start to see you do that, right? When they start to see that transformation, so one or two things will happen. Either they're gonna be with it or they're not. And if they're not, that's when you got to be like, all right, we got to cut it off because I'm going here and you trying to go here, right? We're not on the same page. I don't expect anybody to do what I do, right? But I do expect for us to level up together, us to grow together, right? We know, like, again, for me, I don't drink anymore, right? So I don't want my wife drinking like that, right? And that's not even the case, right? I'm just specifically talking to me because it's like if I can show you how this doesn't benefit us, then don't do it. I can show you why we need to eat a certain way, then let's do that. You get what I'm saying? I can show you why we shouldn't go here in this type of environment because of XYZ, then don't do it. But if you choose to keep doing that, it's like, well, I don't like to move like that because I can understand not being a benefit, not being help us grow to where we want to be. It's not putting us closer to our goals. So I say that to all the men. If you have someone you're dealing with, if you have a wife that's like, look, I don't want to move that way and you still do, then you got to figure a way to cut it off because it's not going to help your growth. And then you guys are just going to grow apart versus growing together. So, and again, those are small examples, not anything specific, but just, I think in a nutshell, you raising your standards, if it's really you raising your standards, meaning you can see the progression in a positive way. You can see the growth where your bag being ran up. You can see the growth where your life is starting to change in a positive manner, right? Then it's only like people want to be a part of that, right? They start to attract, they start to move how you move. That's how it should be as a man and as a leader of your household. And that's actions over words, right? Most women, what I've seen, for the man that's on top, the man, and I ain't talking about it don't even have to be about the money, right? It's about, when I say the man on top, the man who really run their households the proper way, right? Meaning they're leading, right? They're leading it. Their wife is following. She's bringing, and the kids are following as well, and they're bringing value in the sense of making your life easier so you can go out and do what you need to do to put your family in position to win, right? That's what I'm talking about. And so again, really quick, when you're not there, that's when you start to get women who like, I hate having to be masculine. I hate having to make the decisions. I hate having to feel like I have to manage a household. And that's where I've seen and learned through my personal experience and people that I know, that when a man can't move a certain way or he just chooses not to move a certain way, that's when the problems come. That's when the nagging comes. That's when the complaining comes. That's when the pushback comes. But when you on top of your game, right? You looking strong, you looking healthy, right? You moving in a positive way. You raise the standards on your life. Not just talking about it, but you actually doing it. You putting in the work every single day. They can't help but to follow that, right? And so that's what I mean as far as when it comes to, we have to as men continuously build to become the best version of ourselves. Life is a constant cycle, right? Every day. There's no end to this. The only end we have is for us, right? Our body or whatever. Our spirit continues on, but our body is the only thing that we have that has a limited life warranty on it, right? And so while you hear in this one body, we have to take care of it, right? While we have our one mind, we have to take care of it. So that means doing the things that's going to constantly keep it strong, constantly keep it working and building. And again, just raising the mental standard. And so that's even now with me saying, okay, once I do this, how can I raise this? Once I raise that, how can I move this? And that just, you start to connect the dots, but it starts from personal development, man. And it's just so crucial that man continuously do this. And I've said it over and over again. It starts in the gym. It starts in the gym. We have to get in the gym. Too many men are out of shape. Too many of us have become weak-minded, and we've allowed our women to run things. And I don't want to come off sounding like misogynistic, because that's not what I'm saying. You know me, I'm always talking about men being leaders because I feel like naturally that's just where we are, right? We have to lead a certain way because in the truth of the matter, women don't want to lead. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to have to go to work. They do it because it's like, I don't have a man who can do it, right? They don't want to have to make those decisions. They want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to live their soft life. I get it. Who wants to work? You know what I mean? In the sense of like I love working because it keeps me active, right? And I don't mean just like physical work, but I love doing things that bring value. I love things that make an impact. I love things where I can say, you know what, it gives me purpose. That's what I mean by doing work. But women, listen, they would love to not go to work. Trust and believe. I don't care what nobody say. Women do not want to work. And I'm not saying that they should be in the home just cooking. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, they don't want to work. You know, some of them, they choose to do the work that they want to do, but they don't want to have to go to work. They don't want to have to clock in at a corporate job. They want to do what they want to do and have that support from a man who can take care of business. That's just what it is. And that's what I was saying. So anyway, man, continuously keep developing yourselves. Keep putting yourself so you can become the best version of yourself. And that way, once you do, if you don't have a woman, if that's what you're looking for, you'll be ready to, when you do meet her, she'll know that you're a real one, right? She'll know that, okay, maybe this man ain't 100% where he want to be, but I can look at his actions, right? Not just what he's telling me, but I can look at his actions and see he moving. And trust me, man, that's so attractive. When you're a man moving with purpose, women will be, you attract the women to you if that's what you want, right? If you're a single man, you're like, man, why I can't find a good woman? Why? Focus on you, right? Focus on becoming the best version of you, and you'll attract that woman to you. You may attract some other ones that you don't want, but you're gonna attract the good one because that's who you moving with purpose, and y'all are aligned. If you married, if you going through a situation, trust me, I told you, I've been through it, where your house is not in order. Shout out to my uncle, RIP, man. Get your house in order, right? If your house is not ordered, if it's not moving how you need to move, that means you're not in your position. You're not in your role where you need to be handling things. You probably out of shape, right? Or if you're not in, if you are in shape, some men just naturally in shape, but they don't mean to hit the gym. But that means you haven't developed your mind. You haven't started moving with purpose, right? Your woman don't know, okay, where is it? Where are you taking our family? Where are you taking us? And so it's just very important to continuously build mentally, spiritually, and physically. That's the Trinity, right? Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Develop those three areas, and I'm pretty sure you'll get some clarity on your purpose. Because once you connect it, once it clicks, that you find your purpose on whatever that is. A lot of men, we just not purpose driven because we haven't found it, right? We're still trying to find ourselves. But once you find your purpose, it's over with, right? You're gonna start moving with purpose. You'll start moving a certain way, and all of a sudden, your life will start to change in a positive way. You'll start to level up in life, your career, your finance, just everything. And like I said, me personally, I'm a living testament, and I ain't even finished yet, but I can just tell just how things are moving. The tide has turned. You know what I mean? And so I'm so happy about that. But we still got a lot of work to do. It ain't over. We're gonna keep putting in work. We know where we want to be because we have clarity, right? We locked in with God, and it's just what it is, man. So anyway, I wanted to drop a video a little different today. So I guess you can still call it morning coffee talks, but I just wanted to drop in today and kind of just lay that on you guys, man. Continuously personal develop. Don't slack. I'm telling you, your life will change. Again, look at my old videos. I'll show you guys later on, man, maybe in a few months, just once I really get to where I want to be, just my total transformation when it comes to physical, right? But mentally, I have totally transformed. I showed you some of the books I'm reading. I haven't showed you all of them. I've showed you guys what I eat in a day. I went over my schedule and how I move. And so I get it, it's going to take time before a lot of other people see how I move as well. But if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Drop a comment below. If it's your first time watching, subscribe to the Husband Code. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. And if you got any value from this video, hit that like button. Also, hit the notification bell. We're dropping videos like this every single day. And until next time, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.